Here is a beautiful late spring bloom. Look how it falls onto the trail and it just grows all along the woodland, side of the woodlands and in the prairies. And you'll find this plant all the different colors. You'll see the dark purple, you'll see the mauve, light purplish, you'll see this white, all the different colors that are very matronly, right? This is the Hesperis matronalis. This is dame's rocket. So very feminine, all these feminine names, matron, dames, and it is very beautiful and stately. It's not a dainty feminine, it's a stately feminine, like the matron itself, and like a diplomatic kind of feminine. And that's what I love about this plant. It's in the Brassicaceae family. So Brassicaceae, mustard family, everything in the Brassicaceae family is edible from the root all the way up to the seed. So we can eat this plant, but I don't really eat anything. Well, I do. I'll tell you a story about it. But later in the summer, or as we are now, later in the spring, I should say, when the plant starts to bloom, the leaf itself gets a little hairy. You can see the hairs on the plant. In the first part of the spring, this is one of the first greens that you find coming up, first green things. And you're like, if you're like, survivor man and living all winter long on hunting and stuff, and the first time you see something green, you're like, and you're going to eat it up. And it's good. It's yummy. It's mustard. So it's got this like detoxifying spice, crispness to it, These plants are related to arugula. And so you have that like that spicy salad flavor. And in the Brassicaceae family, one of the ways that we could tell that it is that it has these like horn-like seeds that kind of come up, and the classic crucifer cross, 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. So Brassicaceae. Here's my eating of this plant. I don't really find, I don't use it medicinally. I just kind of think about it as like medicinal food, I guess. It's a good detoxifier of the lungs and a good detoxifier of the sticky, stagnant winter blood, just like a lot of mustards are. And so it's got some aromatic qualities. It's got, and they're I would say it's more spicy, and it also has this like sweet coolness at the same time. So it's like nourishing, nutritive, and it's got a little aromatic kick to just like wake up the lungs and wake up the sinuses. Here's my fun story about this plant. Okay, so it was about this time of year, it was around the solstice, and it was a friend's wedding, and it was an outdoor wedding. It was a really cool, beautiful wedding outside, and we're all sitting out there on their lawn, and they have the tents and the tables, and they have the caterers are coming late, and they were there, but they were just behind on preparing the food or something like that. So we're all sitting there, we're expecting to eat. It's a wedding. It's like, you come hungry, and then it's just like, okay, now we're waiting. And they had like, beer in the keg and all, and when you do eat, you're gonna have all this heavy food, like pulled pork and mashed potatoes and stuff like that. So like, okay, well, I better tend to my digestive fire here while we're starving, and like winter starving. There's a green, I'm gonna eat it. No, it's like wedding starving. And so I noticed on the table there was a bunch of centerpieces, and on one of the centerpieces in all of the centerpieces was this plant. They had harvested all around, and it was, it's pretty, and I think it matched the colors of the wedding or something like that. And so they harvested a whole bunch of it, and they put it on the little centerpieces. I'm like telling the people in the table, I'm like, hey, you guys know that you can eat this one, right? And they're like, yeah, well, no. Oh, there's Kyle. This is a weird guy. He just eats all the plants he sees. I'm like, yeah, well, if you don't mind, I'm just going to have a couple bites of it here. And so I have a couple nibbles of this one, and the one in front of me, I'm just like nibbling it away. And next thing I realize, 10 minutes have gone by, and I've ate the whole centerpiece. It's gone. And I look down the table, and my friends are laughing at me, and I'm like, well, and I see the one in front of them, and I'm like, are you guys going to eat that? Can you pass it over here then, please? Thanks. So I ate that one too. And that's my story about Dame's rocket.